In this scene, what you have is the convergence of three separate plot lines. So that was a structural motif that was used for that film. We follow in a third-person, omniscient way, jumping back and forth between three storylines. Sarah, introducing her and getting to know her and presumably like her to some extent. And then we see the Terminator arrive through time. We don't know it's through time, but we sort of know he's come from somewhere. And see him start hunting down and killing, brutally killing, people with her name. So even though they haven't met and the two storylines haven't converged yet, there's already an interrelationship between those two storylines. Kyle Reese comes through time, same way. Although his arrival is much messier and rougher on him than it is on the Terminator, we can make the assumption he has come from the same place. He is from whatever that world is. So there's already a connection between the two of them. And we don't know if he's a good guy or another bad guy. He certainly acts very, very sinister, but I think we innately sense that he's probably a protagonist. And he goes through getting weapons, getting clothes, doing the same things the Terminator does, just in a different way. He's more furtive. He doesn't hurt anybody. The Terminator just bulldozes through whatever to get his objectives. So they're contrasted to each other. So even though they're clearly both soldiers, they're both sinister, the Terminator is the more disturbing of the two. And they're both stalking Sarah. Terminator's is moving toward her in this relentless fashion. Reese is following her. So we don't know if he's a protector or if he's a good guy, if he's a bad guy, but we feel a relentless sense that the three storylines are converging. The music is pounding. So she sits down, she's nervous, and Terminator walks in. The music tells me I'm in the same club. I'm at the door of the club. He's there. He's in the room with her. The killer that we've seen brutally kill two other people in his hunt for her and kill the gun shop owner to get the weapons to do so is now in the room. So it's going to happen. It's going to go down. So we've just started the clock on our chess move. We've just started the clock. And the audience knows it. And they know that this is the beginning of a thing, a set piece, if you will, a scene. It just started. The second you put them both in the same room or in the same space, you've just said to the audience, all right, guys, it's on, right? Now what's going to happen? So the jeopardy just shot up. The jeopardy's been slowly building. It just shot up to a new level. Terminator moves in his very machine-like fashion, searching, right? The clerk tells the bouncer to stop him. He just crushes the guy's hand. He doesn't even look at him. He just glances at him and then moves away. Now he's in scan mode. The hunter-killer machine, scanning like a surveillance camera. His eyes scan, then his head turns to give him more compliance. Then his eyes scan the other way, and then he has to move his head. It's unnatural. It's not human. It's machine-like. It's like a surveillance camera scanning. So that's something that we worked out together in rehearsal. Now here's Sarah. You cut back to the victim, the innocent victim, Bambi. You know, here comes the hunter tromping through the woods. Here's Bambi. It's intercutting. The intercutting intensifies the sense of expectation and builds suspense. Something is going to happen. It is inevitable. He will find her. He's very thorough. So we've established him searching in a very machine-like and thorough fashion. And we've established her sitting there and essentially helpless and worried. Back to him scanning some more, same principle, back to her, rising tension by intercutting, right? Here comes the big move. She knocks the water bottle off her table. And we go into slow motion. We're telling the audience something. The Terminator walks into the frame, scanning relentlessly, doesn't see her, misses her completely. The timing was, we had to do this shot a few times, obviously, to get the timing perfectly. The way he appears to the dancers, the waitresses cross. It's a very stacked, this is using a long lens. If I had done this on a short lens, a wide lens, I'd have seen too much background. I wouldn't have been selective enough. My waitress crossing in the foreground would have been the size of the Hindenburg. Sarah would have been big, Terminator would have been little. The farther I move back, the longer the focal length I use, the more I stack the shot, the more I compress the space, the bigger he is, and the more I'm able to look through a number of dancing bodies and sort of graphic forms that are out of focus to see him. He's the plane of focus. She's not, right? So this is selective. This is being highly selective, leading the audience's eye in a selective fashion by using composition, lighting, focus. He misses her. She comes back up. She didn't see him. Not that she even knows what he looks like. Innocent victim again. We're just reminding the audience who our protagonist is and the fact that she doesn't know what's coming, and it just missed her. But we have another escalation in her eyes in that moment, and it's aided and abetted by a little flush of light from the dance floor as two dancers part. In slow motion, she sees something. Now, I haven't seen what she sees yet. She could be seeing the Terminator. But why would she be alarmed at the Terminator? She's never seen the Terminator. She sees something, and we see it in her face. And this is a beautiful piece of editing by Mark Goldblatt. He holds on it just enough frames for you to see her see something, and we don't know what it is. And these are magical shots when you're able to get them. When the character, she's not doing anything. It'd be very hard to express it in a storyboard. It's something changes. And what she sees is Reese, the person that she knows that she's seen stalking her. Now she is afraid of this guy. She doesn't even know about the other guy yet. Reese's eyes come up and he sees something. He sees her. Their eyes meet in a mirror. It's a love story. Their eyes meet across a crowded room. It's a love story with shotguns. Another long lens shot. This suggests, and to this day, I don't remember if this is supposed to be Sarah's hair or not, that I'm shooting over her and it's a stack shot or this just some random foreground. I think it's a bit of random foreground. But it's a long lens shot. So it suggests that her brain has excluded the entire environment in between her and him and gone like that into, and this is how lens choices are very subjective. If I were to duplicate my experience right now, my subjective experience right now, my vision stretches out to where my hands are, way out here, and way down here, and way up here. If I were to duplicate that with a lens, I'd need to be on like a 10 or a 12 millimeter fisheye lens. It would look ridiculous. It would look highly distorted. So I'm seeing all this, but it's not what my brain is focused on, and it's not what I would remember. So lens choice is about the memory you